Hi there, my name is Michael. This is a video to explain stacks and how they can be used to evaluate mathematical expressions. Uh, First of all, I want to just start quickly by explaining what a stack is. It's very similar to what we had last week with queues, except that they operate on a different uh, process of picking what goes next. With queues, we had what was called first in, first out. And if you recall, what that means is in, say, like a grocery store line, the first person to line up to check out will be the first person served. That's an easy example to think of with first in, first out. Uh, these stacks here, though, they're different. They operate on last in, first out, LIFO. Uh, and what that means is the last thing that was inputted into a stack is now the first thing to be output. And you can, of course, compare this to anything that stacks, like a deck of cards or something. If you have a deck of cards, uh, say you put all those cards down on the table, the first one you pick from the top is the last card you put down. But besides that, let me explain a little bit on like some stack functions. So I have just like a basic stack here. You have a pointer to the top, quote unquote, of the stack. And so that will usually start at what would be 0. So right now, top is equal to 0. And actually, I have a stack class here that when I generate it, I say that the top is equal to 0. That's the pointer pointing to the beginning of the stack. And that I would then just empty out the stack and make sure it's all null. So the first, just like queues, we have push, pop, and also peek. If you were pushing something, say some number, you would put in a number here, say the number 6. You would put it wherever top is pointing to, and then you would move top to the next part of the stack, and it goes on from there. If I wanted to, say, pop what I just put in, then I would first move top back down, and then take this out. And how this works with mathematical expressions is, it's a little hard to explain, but you would need two different stacks. And in this case, I have a stack of numbers and a stack of mathematical operators. So you would first say put the number 4 in this stack, then this operator into the operator stack, and then the next number into the, you would put the next number into the number stack. And now I get to a minus. Now, of course, our expressions have to follow the order of operations, and you would multiply something before you subtract. So instead of putting this on top here, you would leave this off to the side and tell your program to then operate on what is available. So I would then pop out what is here, pop out the operator, and then pop out again the number. And now there's no more numbers or operators. I would then multiply all of this here, and that is now 20. And you take that new number 20 and you put it back into the stack. Now you can go back and see if this operator can go in, and yes, because there's nothing else to compare it to, so it's fine to go back in, and you would push this number into the number stack. Now you have nothing else to push, so you do this operation stuff again. It's a little bit more complicated with minus stuff, but I would say you would want to build it so that it's to the last, and then building to the left, excuse me. Bringing this out, and now you have 20 minus 2, which becomes 18. It becomes more complicated as you start adding different parts of expressions, including, I don't think we're going to go as far as exponents, but exponents or parentheses, as those have different priorities in this operators queue. So it's a good thing to keep in mind that this queue of operators needs to have a priority of some sort implemented. And I did start to create code for these stacks. I made one class for a stack of numbers and one class for a stack of expressions that I have here. And if we start processing an expression, we would want to take that string and iterate over it, see if you are getting numbers and pushing them into the number stack, and if not, pushing them into the operator stack. There's more that needs to be put here into pushing into the operator stack. You have to make comparisons, see if you have a minus or addition you have to compare it to whatever else is there, and if it doesn't go in, then you have to go back and start popping things out and calculating the expressions that you've built piece by piece. That's all I've got. Thanks.